IHSG juga pada pagi hari ini dibuka di teritori positif, pemirsa.
Sektor 2 pasar masih melihat adanya proses recovery yang terus berjalan.
Sementara di Asia kita lihat berakhir positif juga pada perdagangan Jumat kemarin setelah rilis data ekonomi di wilayah Eropa dan Amerika yang mengalami penguatan.
Presiden Joko Widodo inaugurated the inaugural operation of Patimban International Airport. Garuda Indonesia warmly welcomed the PCR test obligations for planned passengers. Good afternoon, viewers in Indonesia and Singapore. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from the business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Fajar Wayong, this is Market Headlines. Yes, viewers, President Joko Widodo inaugurated the inaugural operation of Patimban International Port in Subang, West Java. In his remarks, the President emphasized the important and strategic role of Patimban International Port for the economy. President Joko Widodo inaugurated the inaugural operation of Patimban International Port in Subang, West Java. The President said that the first phase of Patimban International Port was one of the national strategic projects that was successfully completed amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Jokowi said that the Patimban International Port project has an important and strategic role for the economy, not only for the national level in general, but especially for the West Java region where the port is located. In addition, the President also considered the location of Patimban International Port to be very strategic. It is because the port is located between Kertajati Airport and the industrial areas of Bekasi, Karawang, and Purwakarta.
Di tengah-tengah pandemi ini, salah satu proyek strategis nasional yaitu pembangunan pelabuhan Patimban fase pertama telah kita selesaikan. Alhamdulillah. Saya yakin keberadaan pelabuhan Patimban ini akan menjadi kunci penghubung antar kawasan, seperti industri manufaktur, pariwisata, dan sentra-sentra pertanian, serta menopang percepatan ekspor.
Meanwhile, the inaugural operation of the Patimban Port was also attended by the Minister of Transportation Budi Karya Sumadi and the Governor of West Java Ridwan Kamil. In his remarks, Minister of Transportation Budi Karya Sumadi said that the development of the National Strategic Project for the Patimban International Port was carried out with funding from the Japanese government with a gradual development schedule until 2027. From all sources, for IDX Channel. Meanwhile, the West Java provincial government hopes that the operation of the first phase of Patimban Port in West Java can be the forerunner to the plan for the port city and Patimban industry. The West Java provincial government, as stated by the Governor Ridwan Kamil, hopes that the operation of the first phase of the Patimban Port in West Java can be the forerunner to the plan for the port city and Patimban industry.
Kami sangat berbangga karena Patimban ini akan menjadi cikal bakal sebuah kawasan regional metropolitan rebana yang terdiri dari 13 kota industri baru, di mana Patimban juga kami bantu menjadi kota maritim Patimban untuk 1 juta penduduk. Insya Allah di hari ini kita akan menyaksikan cikal bakal kesuksesan itu akan hadir. Bapak Presiden, saya laporkan jika kawasan metropolitan Rebana ini berhasil dengan Patimban sebagai cikal bakalnya, maka akan menghasilkan 4,3 juta pekerjaan dalam 15 tahun ke depan.
For information, the Rebana Triangle is a land that is intended to stimulate investment in the north and east of West Java. This area includes Subang, Cirebon, and Majalengka. This area is expected to contribute to economic growth of up to 4% for West Java province. From all sources, for IDX Channel. The West Java province.
Indonesian ride-hailing giant Gojek announced that it had increased its stake in publicly listed Bank Jago as part of its long-term investment plan and strategic partnership to strengthen its financial services.
Indonesian ride-hailing giant Gojek announced that it had increased its stake in publicly listed Bank Jago. The tech company bought a total of 1.96 billion of Bank Jago shares, or equal to an 18.02% stake in the bank, through Dompet Karya Anak Bangsa, which operates payment service GoPay at a price of 1,150 rupiah at the negotiated market. This means Gojek spent about 2.25 trillion rupiah for the shares acquisition and increased its ownership in the bank to 20.6% from the previous 4.14%. The co-CEO of Gojek, Andres Sulistyo, added that the company's investment in Bank Jago was part of its long-term business strategy to strengthen the growth and sustainability of Gojek's business in the future. Meantime, Bank Jago President Director Harim Siregar said in the statement that a thorough collaboration will be key to Indonesia's digital economic growth. He also stated that the bank would still be open to partner with other digital ecosystem players to widen financial access and provide digital financial solutions to its customers. From all sources, for IDX Channel.
Stay tuned with us. Market Headlines will be right back.
Market hari ini sudah dibuka dan menghijau begitu. Anda ada di zona positif, akankah ini terus berlanjut?
Saya masih mencermati untuk saham-saham ini ya, tambangan, saham alam putra nih ya, asli kan kemarin belum naik, ini potensi naik.
Senang sekali saya David San Ovo dan dapat hadir menemani Anda dalam program spesial dialog webinar on TV.
Setiap minggunya kita akan membahas tema-tema yang sangat menarik. Apa kabar ibu-ibu sekalian?
Alhamdulillah baik.
Salah satu ambisi daripada Kementerian Koperasi dan UMKM bersama Spesco adalah koperasi keren, baru, digital gitu kan, yang kita bisa IT.
Ya halo pemirsa, nama saya Mangi Teracong. Saat ini saya menjabat sebagai presenter dan juga associate producer. Saat ini saya membawakan program IDX Conversation Closing, di mana di program tersebut saya menganalisa isu-isu ekonomi yang menarik, baik dari luar negeri maupun juga dari dalam negeri. Tentunya hingga saat ini saya masih terus belajar dan saya sangat menikmati profesi tersebut.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. Yes, viewer, PCR test requirement to Bali is indeed one of government's way to bend the COVID-19 cases curve. Cases are rising, hospitalization are increasing, and that also increasing. But the thing is not Bali. It is more on how government does not recommend traveling this holiday season, saying that it is safer to celebrate at home. So, therefore, viewers, the Ministry of Transportation predicts that passengers' downtrend during the Christmas 2020 and New Year 2021 will occur in the end of the year. So, let's take a look at the graphic to see the details, how the prediction of the Ministry of Transportation. So, we can see in the first graphic, viewers, you can see the numbers of how the prediction of Ministry of Transportation see that we can see the data. So the Ministry of Transportation on travel forecast, Christmas and New Year holiday week passengers on bus, it's 1,830 in 2019, and in 2020 it's only 299. In 2019 on train, 6,450, while in 2020 the forecasts say that only 1,670. While on plane passengers, it's forecasted to only hit 2,590, and from boat passengers, it's 728, and the crossing shuttle, in 2019, it's 3,690, and in 2020, the forecast said that the crossing shuttle passengers will only reach 3,480. So, speaking about passengers, viewers, Transportation Minister predicted the decrease in passenger is going to be down more or less 52% in Christmas and New Year holiday in 2020. He estimated the total public transport passenger will only reach 8.97 million passengers, while in the previous year, 18.7 million passengers. Even though it is still prediction, but most likely it will happen. Many people are postponing travel and staying home, which they think is the best way to protect themselves and others this holiday season. But the downtrend will go deeper as regional government requires tourists to have COVID-19 tests before enter one specific region. So, however, here comes the problem. Not that many people want to expend extra cash to have the COVID-19 test. So how much does it cost? We have gathered the data in the next graphic. This is the second graphic about COVID-19 test costs. The first one is from the sample, antibody, the sample is blood, antigen, nasopharyngeal swab, and the PCR nasopharyngeal swab. And the accuracy level of antibody COVID-19 test is low, and then antigen test, middle, PCR test is high accuracy. And we'll talk about the cost. Antibody test is in the range of 85,000 rupiah up to 150,000 rupiah, while antigen test is 250,000 rupiah to 275,000 rupiah. And PCR test, it cost 900,000 rupiah. But back again, viewers, testing doesn't eliminate the travel risk, but when combined with reducing non-essential activities and other precautions, it makes travel safer. Government pressed Indonesians to not travel for Christmas and New Year amid fears that gatherings during the holiday season could ultimately spread more COVID-19 cases. So it is harder for us Indonesians to mobilize from one region to another regions. So there are regions that currently apply mandatory COVID-19 tax documents. What are those? Let's see through the next graphic. So in the third graphic, we can see that regions that apply mandatory COVID-19 tax documents. The first one is Bali, and then Jakarta, West Java, Central Java, Malang, and Yogyakarta. Those provinces are having the most COVID-19 cases surge. So fewer, all those regional heads put alarm over the travel, and not noting that even if a fraction of travelers had asymptomatic infections, they could have spread the virus to hundreds of thousands of people in their regions. So one of the most impacted region is Bali, as we know that Bali has become a popular pandemic vacation spot because it does not have strict COVID-19 entry requirements. However, as COVID-19 cases upticks, government took action. Now all air travelers must present negative PCR test results, while travelers who use other methods of transportation are expected to present negative antigen rapid test results. Well, PCR test is the most expensive one, so it brings burden to the travelers. As a result, this has led to a reported mass request for plane ticket refunds. Let's see the updated data about the trip cancellation to Bali in the next graphic. So this is about the trip cancellation to Bali. 133,000 flight tickets are requested for refunds. And then Indonesian Hotel and Restaurant Association say that the lose-out estimation could reach 317 billion rupiah. So, a fair number of people who were traveling over the holiday week are back to canceling and postponing trips. According to Haryadi Sukamdani, as the head of Indonesian Hotel and Restaurant Association, the trip cancellations could see Bali lose out on 997 billion rupiah, or equal to 70.7 billion US dollar. But in the government side, Bali Deputy Governor Cokorda Oka Arta Ardana Sukawati say that the government decided upon the new rules to prevent a surge of COVID-19 cases in the province with the upcoming year-end holiday, as officials gear up to potentially reopen foreign tourism next year. So viewers, travel may increase your chance of getting and spreading COVID-19. Staying home is the best way to protect ourselves and, of course, our family. So stay at home is the best option. And we will see the information regarding this, viewers, that the mass flight cancellation to Bali, we can say that many people wish to have taste of paradise to celebrate New Year's Eve in Bali for sure. But new requirement for air travelers to present negative PCR test results to fly to Bali has led to a reported mass request for plane ticket refunds, which amounted to 317 billion rupiah.
Indonesia's Hotel and Restaurant Associations recorded that from the day it took effective, the association has received complaints from the public with plans to travel to Bali about the sudden requirement for a PCR test result. Officials announced new travel requirements on Tuesday, along with several prohibitions ahead the upcoming year-end holiday as part of an effort to curb coronavirus transmissions on the island. According to the data that the association has gathered up until Tuesday night, there are refund requests from the ticket buyers, as many as 133,000 flight tickets. With ticket price assumption, it can be amounted to 317 billion rupiah. According to the associations, the trip cancellations could see Bali lose out on 997 billion rupiah, or equal to 70.7 billion US dollar. From all sources, IDX Channel.
So viewers, stay with us because market headlines will be right back after this quick break.
IDX Channel. The Indonesia Stock Exchange channel is the authorized capital market channel in Indonesia. To give references to global investors, IDX Channel also presented the news about the dynamic of Indonesia's economy, business, and capital market in English. IDX Channel also have different types of programs. They are Special Dialogue, Market Opening, Market Review, IDX First Session Closing, IDX Second Session Closing, Market Headlines, and News Screen. IDX Channel is aired 24 hours a day with 5 hours live program from Indonesia Stock Exchange trading floor. Our vision and mission as the only capital market TV channel in Indonesia that is committed to improve the capital market knowledge in the country. News that had been delivered on IDX Channel can also be seen on our digital platforms, so you can give yourself an update about informations anywhere and everywhere. IDX Channel can be watched through Vision Channel, First Media Channel, IndiHome Channel, and Vision Plus, and also live streaming on idxchannel.com. IDX Channel provides information from around the world from different perspectives. We provide you various investment strategies, stock options, inspiring figures for your business references. IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. We're in the last segment. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, Jakarta Composite Index or GCI was open at the level of 6,152.68 and then approaching the closing time. On the first session, the index was on the level of 6,180.35. And then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. The index was closed at the level of 6,169.63. In short, JCI went up 1.07%. So moving on to top gainers and top loser, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Bambu Kopin went up 24.49% to the level of 610 rupiah per share. Aksat Indonesia went up 23.9% to the level of 394 rupiah per share. Merdeka Copper Gold went up 23.66% to the level of 2,770 rupiah per share, and Indosat went up 20.61% to the level of 5,500 rupiah per share. And meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Kimia Pharma went down by 3.97% to the level of 4,110 rupiah per share. Bumi went down 3.7% to the level of 78 rupiah per share. BTPS went down 3.33% to the level of 3,770 rupiah per share, and Hem Sampurna went down 2.55% to the level of 1,530 rupiah per share. And next, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Open at the level of 14,180. Rupiah was also showing strengthening trend toward US dollar and was closed at the level of 14,106. And in summary, Rupiah went up 0.11%. The Ministry of Trade is optimistic that Indonesia's trade outlook in 2021 will be better than 2020. This is based on the recovery of trade at the end of 2020 and the signing of a number of trade agreements with other countries.
The resumption of the trade sector, especially export and import, is one of the factors that makes the Ministry of Trade believes that Indonesia's trade conditions in 2021 will be much better than 2020. Minister of Trade Agus Suparmanto, on the occasion of the press conference after the signing of the IKCEPA, assessed that the 2021 trade outlook will be better because vaccines are already in Indonesia and vaccinations will run next year.
Bulan ini November meningkat dari bulan sebelumnya, ekspornya 6,7%, dan juga impornya juga meningkat dari bulan sebelumnya, yaitu bulan Oktober ke bulan November sekitar 17%. Nah, target tahun depan adalah untuk memigas sekitar adalah 180 miliar US dollar. Mudah-mudahan kita bisa melalui pandemi ini dengan baik, ya, dengan saya yakin, saya optimis juga kita bisa melalui atau bisa melewati masa pandemi COVID-19 ini sehingga kita kembali seperti biasa lagi. Terima kasih.
In addition, trade movements in the past few months have shown improvements, coupled with a number of trade agreements that have been signed and will run in 2021. Under these conditions, the Ministry of Trade targets Indonesia's export value in 2021 to reach 180 billion US dollar, increase 45 billion US dollar against 2020 target. From Jakarta, Muhammad Olga for IDX Channel.
Increasing COVID-19 cases makes government oblige planned passengers must take a PCR test 2 days before they fly to Bali. Indonesia's national airline, Garuda Indonesia, warmly welcomed the decision.
Indonesia's national airline, Garuda Indonesia, welcomes the provisions of polymerase chain reaction swab test infections for airplane passengers traveling to and from a number of regions in Indonesia, including Bali. According to the President Director of Garuda Indonesia, Irfan Setiaputra, this is done to ensure the safety and comfort of passengers who want to take a year-end vacation. PCR itself has a higher accuracy in diagnosing the coronavirus in accordance with the whole World Health Organization recommendations. By applying these conditions, he hopes that Garuda Indonesia's healthy flight commitment can be maintained. From all sources, IDX Channel.
Government urged people to stay at home during the year-end day offs and urged shopping center to close before 7 p.m. But as long as malls keep opening, Mitra di Perkasa will still hold year-end sale in its retail stores.
Indonesian retail company Mitra Adi Perkasa said that the tightening of social restrictions at the end of the year will certainly have an impact on shopping center visitors. Moreover, government urged shopping center to close before 7 p.m., but it doesn't stop the company to run its business. As long as malls keep opening, it is not a problem for Mitra Adi Perkasa. Year-end sales are expected to boost company's revenue, and therefore, the company will still hold year-end sale in its retail stores, such as Zara, Bershka, and Adidas. Of course, there's another option. The company will try to offer brand and products through various distribution channels. It can be through e-commerce platform or the third-party marketplace. Until the end of September 2020, the e-commerce distribution channel grew close to 400%. From all sources, IDX Channel.
In the midst of preparation and completion of the national vaccination plan, the government reiterated that the COVID-19 vaccine is free for all without any conditions.
In the midst of preparation and completion of the national vaccination plan, the government reiterated that the COVID-19 vaccine is free for all without any conditions. This was also conveyed by the spokesperson for COVID-19 vaccination from the Ministry of Health, Siti Nadia Tarmizi.
Menindaklanjuti kebijakan vaksin COVID-19 gratis yang diumumkan Presiden pada tanggal 16 Desember lalu, dapat kami tegaskan bahwa vaksin COVID-19 gratis untuk masyarakat tanpa persyaratan apapun, juga tanpa persyaratan keanggotaan dan keaktifan di BPJS Kesehatan. Sekali lagi, vaksin gratis tanpa persyaratan apapun.
Meanwhile, regarding vaccine safety, the spokesperson for COVID-19 vaccination from the Food and Drug Administration or BPOM, Lucia Rizka, stated that BPOM is conducting an evaluation of the safety of vaccine efficacy and quality by referring to international standards such as WHO, the American Food and Drug Administration or FDA, the European Drug Administration or EMA, in evaluating the EUA administration. From all sources for IDX Channel.
As coronavirus pandemic takes big role on current economic situation, here is an update data about coronavirus globally. And viewers, the new close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business, and capital market channel. I'm Fajar Wayong. Have a nice evening. Thank you, Kap.